Now guys, have I got that feeling? Or have I got that feeling? Sorare NBA feels like a new dawn. It feels like a new period, a new kind of era that we're going into with this fantasy platform that we've been running on this channel for close to 3 years. We've been in the studio for a year, and finally I've managed to reshape it a little bit. Hopefully, if this all goes according to plan, streaming as such is going to go up a level, is going to change a good bit. And with the introduction of NBA, and for where I'm at with football at the moment, it feels like I can't say it enough. I've been here before. I've seen this before. You know, I'm like 5 years playing this stuff in a roundabout way, you know, and I see I can just taste it in the air, guys. In the video today, I'm going to be spilling out my thoughts, what I'm up to, what I'm thinking, what's going on, and what I think we should be looking out for at any point in the video today. If you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and let's get stuck into it. Now, I just completed a record sale of Taylor Harwood Bentley Super Rare. It wasn't the biggest amount I've received in like fiat pound terms, but it was the biggest Ethereum sale and probably the biggest Ethereum profit that I've made on a trade recently. And coming into this kind of autumn winter period, I was getting ready to just enjoy the World Cup and just run with the teams I had and bide my time and snipe that little piece or two that I'm after. And, you know, if you've been paying attention to the content, I've been talking about, you know, I'm kind of at crossroads. I don't really know with the ammo, with the transfer fund that I've got to go and enhance my squad. I'm not dead set on that guy, or this is the plan, or this is the route to go down, outside of getting higher scarcity cards and just becoming a bit more integrated into that side of the game, the higher ground kind of angle. But with NBA, like, I don't know anything about basketball, guys, and on this channel, the primary content is going to be like me being a basketball dummy, but knowing about Sorare and going through it and just loving it, and knowing the patterns, the trends, all the stuff that goes around. And because I'm not as emotionally attached into basketball anywhere near as I am with football, I feel like I'm going to have a much better performance on, not that my football performance has been fantastic, like if you go and look at all my numbers on Sorare data, but I think with basketball I'll be able to be much more clinical and much more decisive, pardon the pun, when, you know, things come into fruition, or knowing what cards to really hold for a bit longer this time around in terms of profiles and makeups, that kind of idea. So with that in mind, like, I'm kind of knocking around my gallery, and, you know, when the basketball stuff comes out, I'm getting tempted by it, of course I am, but I'm looking at my football and I'm still thinking, you know, I still need to make sure that everything's ticking along over here. And for the most part, I think we're doing kind of a-okay. As I say, we're quite set in our ways. We've got very firm characters in the squad. I don't mind down periods and off seasons and whatever. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And with MLB, I'll just touch on this real briefly, okay? For MLB, I asked Laird and MLS Card Guy, Gator Guy, and like maybe 3 or 4 people, just guaranteed Hall of Famers, and I went and picked up 2 rares for like a combined 20 quid. And that's all I've ever done with baseball, and I might come back to pick up a rookie or 2. But beyond that, this is my baseball exposure, and I don't see that ever really changing in line with what we're seeing with basketball. Even just look at this. As soon as it opens up and it pops, it just looks fantastic. Now, if you haven't joined Sorare yet and you're watching this video, I'm a professional player. This is all I do 24/7. Make content, strategy, tutorials, beginner's guides, live streams, all that good stuff. Sorare themselves love the content over here at the channel, and what they do is they support me by giving me a special link. If you open the account by clicking on that link, you actually get a free card once you've bought 5 from the market. It's a real NFT card. You can sell it, you can keep it, you can do whatever you want with it. That'll drop into your account automatically once you've bought 5 from the market. Hit that link and sign up directly, allow cookies and all that good stuff, just to make sure it doesn't fudge you out of it. And if you have any questions or any difficulties, then hit me up in the comment section. I'll get straight back to you. It's the best way to sign up. It's the only way to sign up. And if you sign up Sorare without that referral link, you're 1 card worse off than everyone else. So make sure you do hit on that link before you join and make your account. So I have a chat with my brother, who is like an NBA diehard. Now, my brother, if you've watched this stuff, I love my football, right? But my brother loves basketball just the same. And, you know, me and him, we had a wee chat, and I'm looking for cards. I'm looking for, you know, I'm trying to find some underpriced guys. I'm trying to find some under the radar pieces. I know who all the big hitters are. Everyone does. Everyone's chasing after them for auctions. And until they get into high serial numbers, I'm not even entertaining the thought of them. I'm going to try and really hustle and grind as much as I possibly can. Now, the starting roster I've got, it's yet to be determined how effective it's going to be in the immediate term. The very first card I picked up was a 1 of 100. I went and got a Malik Monk. Now, this guy is totally split opinion on everyone that I've spoken to, which I like a lot, you know. Players of split opinion are always ones to have a look at and consider because, you know, someone's going to be right. It depends on what side of it you're on. This could be a good one. So, yeah, I've got the one of 1,000 for him. And again, thinking about how things went in baseball before, and obviously I've been playing football where everything was rare and super rare primary. You know, limiteds came out much later. I know limiteds are going to be super volatile. A lot of them are going to like really plummet as they get crap, or they're not really that effective, or they're not that usable. They don't have a public profile. They don't have like people engaging with them or whatever, and they just go into the background. There's going to be plenty of those, and I've got no idea who any of them are going to be. So with limiteds, I'm trying to be quite selective, and with rares, I'm just trying to get any that I think, you know, you'll see I picked up a bit before, you know, you see what I've done, but so with the limiteds, I've tried to get, you know, around the sort of pricing that I think, could I expect to pay this for a similar caliber in my mind, bearing in mind I know nothing about these players, football player and limited. So Marcus Smart. Now, I've kind of, like, this guy I think is going to be my Jordan Larson, almost, you know. He's got green hair. He plays for the Celtics. He was Defensive Player of the Year, I'm told. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, looks cool. He's in the Celtics, you know, and I just kind of, honestly, I can't wait to do some Celtic chants watching Boston. It should be good fun. I got a 1 of 1,000 Nick Claxton. And again, I think whenever I ask people for an opinion on this guy, no one really gives me anything. So I think he's a wee bit nondescript. If you've got any opinions on any of the cards I've picked up, of course, let me know. I'm also told this guy's pretty much the only guy that can shoot on the Lakers at the moment, or something like that. Don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from some people. And I managed to, by accident, pick up a jersey number of this guy, a 4 of 5,000, which is cool. Kyle Lowry seems to be a bit of a big hitter. Again, I'm not really up to speed with any of these guys, but I've seen other accounts that I respect and I know that they know their stuff. They're picking up guys like him, like Kyle Lowry. So I feel like, you know, that little row, maybe the first rare, I'm quite chuffed with that. The next row, now, I love my rookies, guys, and I say I might go back into baseball for the Strider guy. I would have bought him anyway because he's got a cool ass name and a tash, but he's actually amazing as well, so it's made him quite expensive. But this guy, apparently, is a contender for Rookie of the Year. So we went and got one of him pronto. Now, his limiteds were all dotting around the 0.07 mark after the 1 of, and, you know, a few of them went a little bit under, a few of them went a little bit over, but I think I've got right into the mean price there. This guy goes kind of cheap. I don't know who he is, but he was on the list that I was privy to. And I think his scores are kind of naff, so maybe it does go under the radar a little bit. But the way the power cap thing works, I'm not even worried about form or anything like that. If anything, form can be a bonus if it's a bit crap. He plays on Celtics as well. He goes with Marcus Smart. So I've got a little kind of duet there. Now, I've got big props off of everyone for picking up Trey Jones. I think this guy is a sleeper. Maybe he comes big this year. And yeah, I got major props for picking this up from Gator Guy and from a few other guys that I know and respect. This guy, I don't know what to make of. I'm told he's flaky, amongst a few other things, but he seems to be a forward. His rare went for a decent price, and his limited stay quite consistent around the 0.09, 0.1 mark. I managed to get this for 0.076 in like the dead of the night, but I think the rest of them are maybe even around that level, but generally I've seen them about 0.09ish or so. But a forward, because I was getting quite cautious that I have all guards basically, like in my limiteds and stuff. So I thought this guy's a forward, so at least then, and I know this Mathurin, he's guard and forward, so he's got a wee bit of that Spencer Strider stuff, or whatever the guy's name is. That guy's cheat code because he's double position. We don't have positions yet, but if we do, this guy could be cheat code. So anyway, so Tobias Harris, who knows? Maybe I need another forward, another guy that can dunk and do all that cool stuff, you know. But I was so enamored with the response for the Trey Jones. The 1 of 1,000 was ticking away, and I was like, do you know what, man? Let's do it. So we went and picked him up. 0.2, which I thought for a 1 of was pretty good, considering how, you know, kind of convicted everyone was. Like, oh, that's a good pick, by the way. He's set to do well this year. So quite happy with that. And honestly, I was really close to staying up to go for this guy's super rare. I'm really glad I didn't, because I went for over 2 ETH. But as soon as I seen that, it's like, shit, I need to get... This reminded me of getting Kamavinga in the Ren kit. When Kamavinga came out in the Ren kit, number 1 and 2 went for mega money. And I managed to get number 3 for about 0.9ish or so. And like, I loved that card. It was beautiful. I did get a good kind of trade value off for it. I sold it for a decent amount. I can't remember what happened with it in the end. But it was one of those ones where it was a young guy. He just moved to Real Madrid when I bought it, basically, and all the rest of it. But this feels like that. This is a rare that's a kind of a Camavinga Ren. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that baseball guy's a better analogy because he's double position or whatever. But he's apparently a runner for maybe Rookie of the Year and all that crap and whatever. So around a quarter of an ETH for the rare. Like, and it's a really low mint as well, number 3. I felt really happy about that, you know, I really did. The other rookie that was on the radar was this guy. And again, I've seen his rares going for quite saucy prices and some of his limiteds as well were, yeah, around 0.7 to 0.9, 0.07 to 0.09 Ethereum, which is about $100 or so, give or take. And I managed to get one on him when it was kind of in budget around that 0.07 mark. We got just under that, but that was the kind of number I was shooting for. And then before I started moving around all the furniture and everything, I recorded the End Product podcast with Tony and Stish, and I managed to pick up a Jarrett Allen, another guy that was on the list, and he's a centre, so I felt a little bit more comfortable picking up a different position, because I feel quite guard heavy. And I went in and I asked some people's opinions. 0.06, I think that's okay. I didn't actually check his price too much. I just did one more bid and then I won it, so that might be a slight overpay on that. But I've spent here, I think, about an ETH and a half. I've got 4 rares. I've got, like, I don't know, like 8, 10, 9 limiteds. I'll probably get, I'm really tempted to try and get a super rare. We'll see what happens, right? Because, and again, just being straight with you guys, I really want, I know what's going to happen, right? I know what's going to happen with this gameplay in terms of if it takes off and if it explodes. On football at the moment, we've got like 100,000 users with a bucket of cards and a bucket of divisions and all the rest of it, right? And at the moment, this will change, but at the moment, you've got to strike while the iron's hot, in my opinion. You know, now there will be, and I did say this earlier on, I'm a professional player. Like, this is all I do, right? So, you know, there is always day one inflation. There's always early access inflation. Always happens. Like I mentioned earlier, some guys will drop, a lot of guys will drop off the face of the earth price-wise from day 1 prices to day 300 or whatever for a variety of reasons that as a basketball and a sports fan and as a fantasy football player, you could probably imagine the risks I'm talking about without me patronising you with it. But that aside, the game, as soon as it opens, the more you can capture for your own gallery, the better. Because if I'm trying to rock out with like kind of minimal, you know, I've got, maybe I finish up with 10 to 15 limiteds, about 6 rares, I'm thinking 5 with a +1, and then maybe a super or 2. You know, we're talking about ideally under 20 cards is where I kind of want to stay, maybe 25 at a push. And run from that and run from there and really hustle and grind. Sell guys on the up, buy other guys on the down, read the form, read how it is. I'll watch some basketball, of course I will. I'll get up to speed with it a bit better, you know, but I'm not going to be, you know, a connoisseur. I'm not going to be a, you know, ITK guy, you know, where it's like, oh, I'm calling shots on this or that. I'm going to rely on other people who are like native to it, and it's going to be fantastic content for me to actually make. It's going to be so much fun, and it's a real role reversal for me. And you know, I'm very much excited. I'm very much passionate about it, you know. But when I look at the actual SO5 competitions, this is the last thing I'll kind of say on this point, is Rare Champion is basically D3. And D3 is the first place I want to be, you know, in contention. I don't think I'm going to have the cash. I'm definitely not going to have the cash to build a super rare basketball team. But I've got 4 rares. If I maybe got 1 more and a super or 2, I reckon in the immediate to short term, I can maybe churn a bit out of that, depending on how deep the prize pools are, of course. You've then got the flexibility of limited champion if guys don't have good enough fixtures. And with the amount of limiteds I have, I think I should always be in that limited contender, just picking up cards, you know. And for the most part, because this is like a tertiary, a secondary endeavor for me personally and professionally, it's not one I'm going to overcomplicate, you know. I want to keep it nice and simple. I just want to have it churning and winning every week. I don't want to be playing guys that are risky or have crap fixtures, because I maybe just watch one game, and if I've got the option of making 1 team or 2 teams, you know, I've like I said at the top of the video, I've been playing this for long enough. I know all the patterns and I know all the pitfalls that are going to happen, and I'm very much looking forward to starting on day 0 with, you know, I know I've spent like a decent amount here to get the cards I've got. An ETH and a half is not chump change, don't get me wrong, but I'm not buying any big hitters, you know, and I'm hoping to, you know, I just want a day 1 run and start, and, you know, I'm quite happy with where we're at with all that kind of stuff, and I hope you will enjoy every bit of it with me. And then, guys, the next part we have to come to is the World Cup.